Hi guys, Toby here with Physio Studio with the second video in our series discussing foot pain, where today we're going to be talking a little bit about the causes of foot pain. Now you'll notice I didn't specify any particular condition here, and that's because what can cause one type of foot pain can very easily cause another. The common causes here, and it's less of an X leads to Y scenario as opposed to an X leads to A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Multiple conditions can stem from the same cause. So we're going to run through them and try and identify which of these could be leading to your foot pain. The first we're going to talk about is something you've likely heard me discuss on this page before, and that is this issue of load versus capacity. So if we think of load as the physical force being placed on that foot, on all the structures within it, and capacity is our ability to recover from those forces. In an ideal healthy foot, we want our healing capacity to always be above the loads we're placing on it. So this leads me then to the two main types of pictures that we'll see here in clinic presenting with foot pain. So the first is where we have a very, very high volume of load. So how are we getting more force? How are we getting more load onto this foot? And there are a few ways this can happen. Number one is going to be physical weight. So if you've suddenly gained a lot of weight, if your BMI has increased, that's going to just be more kilograms of pressure going through all the structures in this foot, which is more for it to have to recover from and can lead to any number of issues. The second here is just volume of training. So if you suddenly started or suddenly increased the amount of training you're doing, particularly running, walking, jumping, sprinting, any number of these where the foot is taking an impact is placing direct load on these tissues, and if you haven't adequately built up your ability to recover from this, this can lead to any number of issues. The third way we can increase the load side of the table here is going to be physical force on these joints. So the way we'll achieve that, as I said to you the last time, is often through footwear. So oftentimes in work boots or women's shoes or any shoes that are particularly tight around the toe box here. So look at your own shoes and see, are they squashing your feet together here? And some ways that this can become quite obvious to us is in the presence of bunions. So where the big toe starts to buckle inwards and cross over the other toes here, and we start to develop redness or blisters on the outer side of the base of the toe here, telling us that this has buckled in, the muscles working this part of the foot are no longer doing their job to hold that toe in good alignment. And again, that can lead to issues with your toes, but also down the heels. The blood supply is affected throughout. The other way we can spot this is a bunionette. So the exact same thing when regarding your little toe. So if the little fifth toe is getting squashed across those other toes, and you can develop redness or blistering onto the outer side of the base of the fifth toe here. This can cause similar issues either around the toes where these joints are now rubbing off of each other, but also down the foot, as it's going to affect how all these tissues can function and move. The last way that we can look at directly increasing the force here is going to be if there are issues with how our ankle or our foot move, and that's something I'll be talking about in the next video on how you can assess that in yourself. The other side of the table that we need to look at then is capacity. So if our load has stayed the same, if nothing's changed here, perhaps our capacity has gone down, and that's what's leading us to have these problems. Now capacity is equal to a lot of things together that lead to our ability to recover. So when we're looking at this, I want you to look at the volume of sleep you're getting. How many hours sleep? What kind of quality of sleep are you getting? Are you waking frequently through the night to do different things, or just because you can't sleep? What stress levels are we dealing with? High levels of stress will impact our body's ability to heal from anything at all. How fit are we? How much exercise are you getting? Now again, while this can increase the load, if it's a form of exercise that is either not stressing the foot or it's a form of exercise that we can still recover from, this will build up your fitness and build up your capacity to recover from that kind of exercise in future. These are a few things to look at and figure out why you might have developed this type of foot pain. The next video is going to be discussing how to assess your ankle and foot and see how they're functioning and how you can begin to address that.